Mahsa Amini was a gorgeous, bright, intelligent, stunning, feisty 22-year-old girl in Iran. On September 16th, she was killed by the Hijab police in Iran because a little bit of her hair was visible. She was protesting against the diktat of women wearing a hijab by the new administration of Iran. Her death now has become a symbol of resistance against forced hijab and religion dictatorship. Her murder has also become a turning point for women of Iran who are sharing videos of them chopping off their hair, burning burqas and hijabs in public places. They're out in the streets in lakhs and thousands protesting and shouting to reclaim their right of dressing the way they want, of living the life they want. There's been a furor of protest across the country where women are leading this charge. It's all over social media, it's all over the streets of Iran. And it is, of course, very, very inspiring. These women of Iran have gotten the world to sit up and take notice. On the other hand, let's cut to India. What's happening in India? In January 2022, at the start of this year, at a government PU college in Udupi, 6 female students claimed that they were not allowed to enter their classrooms wearing a hijab. Since then, there has been a huge controversy and protests have spread to several districts of Karnataka. But the principal of the Udupi college, Mr. Rudra Goda, was quoted as saying that in the last 35 years, students would wear the hijab to campus but not in the classroom. So what's changed since then? Now the girls are insisting that they be allowed to wear the hijab in the classroom. Several petitions have been filed where Muslim students are fighting for the right to wear the hijab in the classroom. In India, this debate took a very interesting turn as it became a pro/anti-choice debate. But is it as simple as that? Is it a pro versus anti-choice debate? Looking at the women of Iran, it's making me wonder whether we are indoctrinating our children too quickly. Are we letting the children think for themselves? Because what's happening in Iran is very surprising, but also a huge lesson for all of us. Iran as a country has been influenced a lot by the Western thought, and which is why you see so many women clearly brought up with that kind of an ideology coming out in their fight to reclaim the right. However, what's happening in India is a bit appalling. The liberals in India have made it a pro versus anti-choice debate. Women should have the choice to determine what they feel comfortable in and so on and so forth. But does that make the hijab, which has become a symbol of patriarchy for many? Many say that it is a symbol of patriarchy. Does it make the hijab right? And are these girls thinking for themselves or are they peddling an ideology? Are they trying to peddle some sort of fundamentalism into classrooms? What has changed in the last 35 years? Why is it that the girls are insisting that they need to wear the hijab when women of the same religion are protesting against the wearing of the hijab? They consider it as something that is taking away their freedom of movement. In Iran, there's a diktat that if you do not wear a hijab, you cannot get a job, you cannot go to college, you cannot go to educational institutions, and so on and so forth. They are fighting against it. However, in India, while there is no diktat on whether you should wear a hijab or not, but the fight is whether a uniform should recognize hijab as a regular uniform to be worn inside a classroom. Examples have been given of Sikhs wearing turbans and so on and so forth, but are there valid parallels to draw? I think the Iranian movement has given us all something to think about. Most importantly, are we teaching our children to think for themselves? I'm Shwweta Punj, Deputy Editor with India Today. Hope you enjoyed this podcast. We'll come back with more.